Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I, man, here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, Rovi, and Mscribe, and today we're going to be talking about some DMT. Finally.
The drug this time.
Yeah, this time we're going to go into the drug.
This time we're actually going to take the drug.
It. It's a scientific test, man.
Science not needed here, dude. Just
yeah.
Just give it a shot, you know?
We need science in all lives.
I think we all need soul searching, to be honest. There's like a
yeah, that's true.
Really questionable event this morning where a potential crypto founder, potentially non-confirmed, non-confirmed, potentially, what's the proper way to say it? Right? You can't say the S word anymore, can you?
Can no longer be, I don't know.
Unalived himself?
Unalived. Yeah.
Deleted?
Can't be reached.
There you go. AFK'd from the grand simulation, right?
Yeah, officially AFK'd.
Yeah, but so a lot of the reasoning or the the chatter out there is because of the toxicity in the crypto space, right? A lot of pressures to be a founder these days.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe we all need a bit of soul searching after this. What do you think?
I'm
really trying to like sell DMT here. Like actually.
Yeah, everyone needs to take the DMT pills. Chillax. Take a chillaxative for once.
Chillaxative.
Yeah.
I agree. So that's why we're refocusing our energies here on DMT.
That's right.
Actually, not the drug. In case you didn't know, there's a protocol in Bitcoin called digital matter theory.
Right.
It's a whole novel concept, right? Which you guys probably do know because we talk about it pretty frequently.
Yeah, and you can still trip if you read this protocol.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, I mean, some reports, there have been some feedback of like, dude, once I go down that DMT hole,
you can't get out of it.
It's inescapable, right?
Yeah.
Your fucking jaw starts to lock up, you lose control of your extremities. It's a real experience, right?
Right.
So explain to us, dude, if you can, in like 60 seconds or less, like what is so mind altering?
You're putting me on the spot here. Digital matter theory, we came up with this a year and a half ago. And we launched the NAT token, which we're going to be talking about in a second here. But it's focused on identifying patterns on Bitcoin, right? Inscribing those patterns as ordinals in the right structure, and then launching tokens against those patterns. So what does that mean? Ultimately, it means that if that pattern occurs again on Bitcoin, that means that your fungible token or your NFT occurs again. So you have a non-arbitrary supply that expands based on the pattern occurrence on Bitcoin.
Yeah, so you inject a little bit essentially of inject or imbue, whichever word sounds more attractive to you, a little bit of the properties that make Bitcoin so valuable.
Yeah.
Innately valuable in comparison to a lot of the other things we see in the crypto landscape, right? It is quite the transition in like disbelief in this space, right? But a transition more towards the belief in the value of Bitcoin itself seems to be like the only sustainable crypto creation up until this point. It just keeps on going up, dude.
Yeah.
Per scheduling, right? So there's some innate properties to Bitcoin that make it do that, right? And make it seem so valuable. So let's tap into that. Let's bring those properties into all the other asset classes of crypto.
Speaking of TAP, it's powered by TAP protocol.
That's right. So that is kind of like the the logistics of how you can interpret these patterns, or first identify them on Bitcoin, interpret them through like an inscription process so that indexers can read whether or not they're occurring, and then therefore translate them to the apps.
That's
In our case, we have an app called Mscribe. You could build a game that looks for these types of patterns, and you could tie like item generation, maybe like world boss spawn rates to these pattern occurrences. So it brings in a whole new wrinkle of, I guess, design.
Yeah, it's not just gaming; it's Bitcoin finance, right? You can have a token that non-arbitrarily expands, and that token can be directed to stakers or people depositing tokens or whatever thing that you want to maximize. You can direct that new occurrence to those people.
But up until now, it seems like the prevalent use case that took off the hardest was PFPs.
PFPs, yeah.
So notable NAT cats. We're going to talk about the royals here. We've got 3D avatars on the horizon.
Yep.
They're all leveraging this substrate layer called the Bitcoin block data, right, to generate these new assets. So that's what's new here.
Yeah, so it's called digital matter theory, and here, if you read this, we're launching non-arbitrary tokens, NATs. Yeah. And so the one that we're going to highlight today is Royals, because today is the day the Royals avatars by Outer Studios will be deployed on a block height that we picked. It's going to be, you're going to be watching this. It's going to be dropping at some point today. And if you have a Royals avatar, you
mean a Royal PFP?
Sorry, a Royal PFP. If you have a Royals PFP in your wallet, you can inscribe the Royals 3D avatar.
Yeah.
And it's using ordinals. It's using the standard parent-child inscription process. And only you, the holder of that Royal, can inscribe that avatar. No one else can do it. And if you decide to wait 100 years to inscribe this avatar, it'll still be there 100 years from now, assuming Bitcoin is still around 100 years from now.
Or if you decide to, trade your Royal, whoever is the new acquirer of that, so long as you didn't already claim the avatar, it's still there.
Yeah.
Right? It's still like a package deal in a sense, like perpetually for the rest of time until somebody claims it. Yeah. And then it's no longer like part of that parent assets, like block drop.
Correct, but they become two separate assets, but they're forever linked to each other via parent-child inscriptions.
Right, just you can't duplicate mint these
Correct,
things
you
or
cannot
claim these things.
No.
Yeah. So this is a big deal. So because block dropping is a novel concept, it's similar to like airdropping, but not really. It's so that you can have these perpetually generating assets, because more Royals might generate in the future. Again, a pattern could occur.
That's right.
Now there's 2,000 more Royals that can be minted, but each of those Royals will come with a 3D avatar as well.
Correct.
It could happen 20 years from now.
That's right.
The creators who created these things could be dead. Knock on wood. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. No.
Hopefully King and Outer Studios are flourishing 20 years from now. But in case they're not, these things are already like embedded on Bitcoin.
That's right.
So they're gonna just perpetually generate for the end of time.
That's right. That's right. And that's the difference between a block drop and an airdrop. Airdrop is just a one-time scenario. You get it once, and then that's it. You don't get it again. But block drops, communities can contribute to block drops. They can block drop avatars, wearables. I mean, it doesn't even have to be, some form of
Could be a meme coin.
Could be a meme coin. Could be anything.
Yeah.
Right. You could block drop it and you can inscribe it as a holder, and that's what's unique about it. The Royals avatar coming and beasting here. It says wearables block drop incoming for DMT NatCat avatar holders. Anyone who wants an Outer Studios merch for their cat.
So this is an example of a block drop that has already happened in the past. So NatCats was like the first UNAT collection. So that's what these like non-fungible DMT assets are classified as. So this is it. This is what the avatar of a NatCat looks like, but outfitting a wearable on top of it, right? So there's composable assets in this whole 3D architecture, right?
Yeah.
But this is what's going to be coming to the Royals. I think should be today, right?
Yeah, Royals avatars dropping today, and I think eventually Royals wearables are also dropping within the next day or so.
Wow. Yeah. So if you guys are still OG Royal community members, the time to pay attention is now to rock your new fits, because we've seen the avatars; they definitely are quite exposed, right?
Right.
I mean, we're gonna look at them right now, right?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we have a video here.
Okay.
Let's run this.
See what I mean by exposed? Look at those cheeks, dude.
Yeah.
They can wear some. Oh, look at you, you're skelly.
Hell yeah.
That's me on the left with the cool hat. Yeah, so they don't have any clothes.
Yeah, that's right.
They're basically like little naked fucking little royalings running around. It's kind of funny. So they're begging for wearables, right?
Correct.
Which is cool. That's the notable like design of Outer Studios brings to the table, is like not just the avatar, but the composable wearables that are layered on top.
Yeah, and again, Outer Studios isn't the only one that can do this. If you are a 3D modeler and you want to contribute to wearables, and you can do a block drop to any given asset, the NatCats, the Royals, anyone who's holding any DMT assets, you can do block drops.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with Bitmap, these avatars are Bitmap compatible. They are usable in the Bitmap OS environments like the Natrix.
That's right.
Or Bitmap Emporium. And, we've been developing more accessible features for more LDEs into the future. Another new term, land distribution events. So essentially means you could use any bitmap, activate them using this 3D environment generator, and give more access points for these types of avatars.
Yeah, just to give you an example, Outer Studios interviewed us inside the metaverse, and let me just play like a little short clip of what that looks like.
I'm from Block Runner, Mscribe, Rovi. I'll let you guys do your intro. I don't want to mess it up, but go ahead.
Yeah, so there's us. So I'm the Skelly.
And I'm the naked alien.
You're the naked alien.
And we're just chilling next to a Bored Ape for whatever reason. He's just sitting there in the, what do you call that? The booth?
Yeah, the booth.
Yeah, and they're outfitted. I think they're mutant apes. I mean, this is pretty cool. This is what the metaverse is supposed to be like, lads.
Yeah, and we're here chatting, and this is like, it's pretty cool because you can show a website or a video in real time in the metaverse, and you can manipulate that, the information there as well. But yeah, here we are chatting, and I definitely recommend you guys watching this video. It's I think an hour long, give or take.
Yeah, we definitely go more in depth around concepts of DMT, even like AI and the metaverse space, stuff like that, right? So if you want to know what we're up to on our development fronts, this is one to listen to, I think.
Yeah.
Because we kind of explain where we are as far as like the state of development of things, because we do a lot, right? We're trying to contribute on the metaverse front, contribute on the Bitcoin ecosystem front, contribute now like in just general crypto liquidity solutions fronts, like.
Yeah, and all this is to support creators.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's what we want to see is more creators like these guys who are, look at this, they just keep pumping amazing collections, essentially.
Yeah, so we're looking at a tweet here by Beasting. It says the base avatars for the Bitcoin puppets are all ready, including the shirt, hats, and face traits. So handheld assets will be worked on next as equipment so they can get both wielded and hidden.
Yeah, so I think it needs to be highlighted here, the amount of work that goes into this, because, these are 10K collections, right? And they're all individually unique.
Yeah, and this is the source data, dude.
Yeah. Actually, this is the actual, parent collection here called Bitcoin Puppets. So this is a very popular top 5, top 3 even, Ordinals collection.
Yeah, and so Beasting, the wizard that he is, he took a look at this and was like, you know what? Let me do it in 3D. And here
for
it is.
every single one.
For every single one.
I think there's 10,000. Maybe there's less, but still, even if it's 5,000, that's an insane feat in itself. To do these individually, and not just for puppets, already been done for NAT cats, is about to be released for Royals, and this isn't even a DMT-based collection, right? So
yeah, correct.
I mean, this is a lot of work, and again, good representation of why we're doing what we're doing to support creators like this, right?
Yeah, man, this is crazy good. And so this avatar works in multiple environments, right? Unreal Engine and 3JS as well, and Bitmap OS, the Natrix and Emporium. So this works in a lot of places.
Yeah, man. Just excited to see more of this stuff get created, and I have my own future expectations. Right now, we're kind of marketing these things as avatars, but I'm thinking at some point they'll have an AI agent embodiment type of utility use case as well. So as we know, the AI sector will intersect with the metaverse, and these types of characters make the perfect, I think, representation for these eventual
forms.
AI forms. Yes, AI souls, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
They'll be running around just doing their own thing.
All right, so moving on, what else is happening? We got BigNoodle. It says, as we approach the BigNoodle token launch, we're showing off the breakthrough. Now we're providing every agent on our system with a full PC to control. This tears down barriers and around autonomy. So your agents, full provenance and privacy, you own them, can operate with a wallet and a PC. The BigNoodle DePIN secures it all. The future is agentic. Yeah, and I saw this video, and I was pretty surprised with the UI. So I'm assuming this is like a 3JS environment, but you can just click on these panels and it automatically zooms in. You can see all the information. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's definitely different from the typical like crypto landing page experience, I guess, for like, anybody who's trying to initiate a new project. It's pretty standard formatting, right? It's like build like a standard Web 2 landing page. What else? That's basically it.
That's it, yeah.
The landing page with the roadmap.
Yeah.
And you launch a token and you build a community around that, right? So this is definitely a little injection of like freshness, right? Something new that we haven't seen to kind of like explain what it is he's up to.
Yeah, so now these agents have access to, I guess, virtual computers. They could pretty much do anything with that. And let's see what happens with that. I mean, I feel like that's going to be quite the experiment. And a lot of this stuff is based on DMT as well. And I think the token launch is like relatively soon-ish.
Well, I think the TGE says they're on the 13th, right?
Yeah, on the 13th. On Uniswap, we're AI project, which is actually showing updates. Yeah, so yeah, this is huge, right?
So I don't know how soon after this TGE, like the actual mint will occur, but that's where the DMT association comes in, right? Where the generation of these agents is dependent on some pattern, right?
Correct.
Yeah, on Bitcoin.
Yeah, so I'm so psyched. Can anyone tell me what this photo is, why this photo is significant? So this is just like the early kind of peek behind what the AI agent is going to be accessing.
But did you understand like the implications of this? So I think based on my understanding, it's just like a virtual instance of like, a PC,
a desktop
like we have in front of us, basically.
Yeah, a desktop, yeah.
I have the ability to use this device to do many tasks, right?
Do everything, literally.
Whatever I want.
Everything that we do is through this desktop.
So then these agents that are part of this ecosystem, essentially they'll have the same capabilities I do.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, as long as they can recognize like what app they're on, they can probably tinker around and start using it and iterate and kind of learn off of that.
Which is what MCP is for, right?
MCP is like taking the knowledge of an app, let's say like Figma or Blender. You take the knowledge and like how it all works, and you make it accessible through the AI without having to train the AI. So sort of like remember in the early days where AI had to like train itself how to play checkers
or Dota
or anything, and sort of it just kind of lost, and all of a sudden it started winning, and it figured out the best strategies, and now it just can't lose.
Yeah, it crushes everyone.
Right, that takes time, and it trains itself. You don't have to do that with MCP servers. It just kind of uses it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So like people who create these servers, it's like the finalized product of like a well-trained, I guess, knowledge base. So like any agent plugs into that, it's literally like the Matrix fucking.
Pretty much, yeah. It's exactly
plug into the back of your brain. It's like I know Kung Fu.
You download an app, and you know Kung Fu.
That's pretty scary, but that's pretty cool. And yeah, all these agents in the future will have their own native terminal to have access to this stuff. So who knows what that's gonna like snowball into? But that's kind of like the experiment we're all on, right?
Yeah, agents access to wallets, access to Uniswap and Solana, Bitcoin, everything.
All of Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of the on-chain information they need.
I think we have a new alien race among us, dude, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so finally, we're talking about the NAT token.
Yeah, alien race needs an alien currency, dude. Speak of that, I think NAT might qualify.
Well, it definitely qualifies.
Yeah, this is
unlike any other cryptocurrency out there, for sure.
Yeah, I think an alien race would appreciate that.
They would. They
right?
would.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you remember earlier in the conversation, I was saying that the NAT token was the first token launched from the DMT ecosystem. Well, this is it. So if you go to natgmi.com, you'll be able to see what that looks like. And every 10 minutes, new NAT tokens are being generated. And most importantly, the new tokens generated from this token protocol, they're being sent to Bitcoin miners. And so if you scroll down here, you'll see how much NAT tokens all the Bitcoin miners in the ecosystem have earned. So Foundry has earned 1.2 trillion tokens, right now valued at $15,000.
Yeah, at the roughly 4 to 5 million market cap. So yeah, this little slider here just gives you the representation of, at a theoretical future market cap, what the economic impact of this token has for the Bitcoin network. Right.
Yeah, and the whole idea is there's a paradox kind of forming within Bitcoin. The paradox is if Bitcoin is a store of value, that means on average, people aren't using the network to transact with Bitcoin. That's what a store of value is, right?
Correct.
And if no one's using the network to make transactions, there are no transaction fees to support the network. And so if there are no fees and there's eventually no more subsidy for Bitcoin, what's to sustain the network?
Yep.
Right? Nothing. Nothing's to sustain the network.
Yeah.
And so that's why this token is now being directed to Bitcoin miners. It has over 23,000 holders. And the effort now is, because this is a free and fair token, no VC, no team allocation, no nothing, we're asking the community to come contribute. So if you click on the contribute button, it'll take you to the listings page. And this is where you donate NAT tokens and some Bitcoin so that we can get the NAT token listed on centralized exchanges for more accessibility, for more market awareness, and then get miners involved eventually as well, so that they can claim their assets and then continue securing the network. So we have a Telegram channel here, and it's over 300 members. So definitely join that if you're holding the NAT token, or if you have any questions on the NAT token, join the Telegram channel and ask those questions there. There's a ton of people in there just chatting away about the NAT token and answering questions.
Let's take a look at the leaderboard real quick, dude. Just
let's see the leaderboard.
Yeah, give it a good refresher-oo, if you would.
Okay.
All right.
Where are we at?
Oh, snap, dude.
Oh, damn.
I'm beating you, dude. Get right.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
So I don't know who Let's Win Together is, but that motherfucker's in a strong lead as far as like top contributor. But I'm pretty comfortable in my number 2 spot.
You are comfortable, but not for long, dude.
You're gonna have to really out contribute me here, dude. But of course, we need some Bitcoin contributions as well. But I mean, because these exchanges, man, they're fucking brutal when it comes to like their listing requirements and such. But
yeah.
Of course, we also need liquidity on things like Taproot Swap, which requires both pairs, right? Bitcoin and NAT.
Yeah, yeah.
And with these contributions, we can make, the whole trading experience for NAT more matured and viable, right? So that way, in the current state of like, interacting with Taproot, which is a Bitcoin L1 native DEX, where you can do token swapping. At max, you want to do $300 to $500 swaps at a time.
Correct.
Because that's what the liquidity that exists enables.
Yeah.
Anything beyond that, you're dealing with too much slippage. So if you understand that, it's just you literally lose some of your value as you do these swaps. So the idea is this bigger liquidity pool, bigger the swap capacity, right? Now you could do 5,000 at a time if we can increase the liquidity.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, that's good overall. We need that, plus the centralized exchanges, the MEXCs, the Gate.ios, the OKXs of the world, eventually the Binances and the Coinbases. And then you've got like real escape velocity, right?
Yeah.
Where this thing can really have some real impact. And it's going to capture everyone's attention, especially the miners.
Yeah. So, eventually, if we go back to the homepage here, and we go up to the miner leaderboard, this could easily reach a 1 billion market cap, and that's generating about $1,000 per block for the miners, and yeah, I mean that's significant sustainability revenue for these guys. So yeah, it's an important mission. I think this is a topic a lot of people are going to be talking about, especially in the next halving at the latest. But a lot of people are already mentioning the problem right now. But yeah, so at least there's a community here to help contribute. So definitely join the Telegram.
And we'll be, every time we do a DMT update, we'll be checking in on that leaderboard, by the way. So
yeah,
if you want to leverage that as some sort of, advertising platform, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
Because we get people reaching out to us all the time. It's like, we want to sponsor, right? But, we only have like a few $100. So it's like, well, the perfect avenue here is just contribute, get your name on that list, whether you want to shill like your project or a company, whatever.
Yeah.
That's the perfect platform to do it. So we could just regularly
That's so true.
highlight your presence and your contribution.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Make that contribution, put your name in the leaderboard there, and then reach out to us, and then we'll make sure that we bring it up on the podcast.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right. So finally, what you're looking at here is an update to the Mscribe website. So pretty soon this is going to get pushed. There's going to be all kinds of new things, especially the newest thing, the most important thing is mobile wallet support and mobile Mscribe support as well. So you'll be able to mint a bunch of these assets just using your phone. And all the pages have been updated if you go to the marketplace. So this is not pointing to the correct database just because it's not live yet. But if you click on DMT patterns, and these are the items that are listed, and then here's trading view. So you'll be able to see like what this is trading at. So and then you'll see an entire gallery of everything for DMT patterns or for that given collection here.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, so finally, and then the elements page.
Damn.
We got a periodic table.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, Bitcoin really looks like a real creator now.
Yeah, source of the universe, right?
A real substance generator, just like the universe is, right? It produces all of our substantive reality. Bitcoin is in its process of becoming that for the digital world, right?
That's right. Yeah, so right now there's only 3 fields of 38 or so on Bitcoin that are being indexed, so that's why these are highlighted. And this is only Bitcoin, or this is block data. So eventually we'll have the transaction data, and then we'll have input and output data indexed, and then you'll be able to find patterns in there and leverage the properties of each of these particular fields of Bitcoin.
Yeah, to create whole new assets, hopefully, right? So. Yeah, we got a long way to go to keep this whole DMT NAT train going.
Yeah.
But, promising progress, right? Promising beginnings. I mean, this is objectively new stuff, cool stuff. This is like a use case for Bitcoin. Nobody's ever really formulated and put together with this, this much, I guess, usability, right?
This novelty is it's so new that it's it can only be done on Bitcoin. You can't take this and do it on another chain just because of the thermodynamic properties of Bitcoin.
Correct.
All right, guys, that's it for us. If you have any questions around DMT, not the drug, definitely let us know in the comment section below. If you find anything interesting in the ecosystem, also put it in the comment section. We like to respond to all of those. I appreciate you for watching, and we will catch you in the next video.
Peace.